Hey everybody, welcome to WTC Fiberside Chats, our new video series where you'll learn all about WTC. I'm Jeff Sackrider, our Manhattan Market Manager. With me today is Shawn Smith, our Plant Operations Manager. Shawn?
How is everybody today? I'm the Plant Operations Manager at WTC. This is almost 18 years working here. Started on the construction crew and have done various jobs. So been working with the company quite a long time and learned a lot of the ins and outs and here for a chat with you today.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you being here today, Shawn. So I talked to a lot of our customers. I talked to a lot of people that are thinking about switching to our service. And one of the most common questions I get is, how does WTC get fiber to a person's house? What does that process look like?
Sure. So the engineering is done first. Once we get that done and everything finalized, all the permitting and everything we need, then we go to the next step, which is getting the main line fiber in the ground. Usually when you see the bigger equipment out around your house, that's what they're doing. And then once the fiber's in the ground, then we do what we call a drop or a service drop to the house. I think WTC does something that I don't know if a lot of other companies do, but we do a pre-walkthrough of everybody's house, so we know where you want us to hit the house and where we need to hit the house to best provide service once we get there inside the house.
Yeah, so it sounds like the engineering plans are kind of like construction plans, and it's a blueprint, and then you can take those, and I assume the first step is kind of getting the main lines into the ground. Can you talk to us about that?
It's probably the most tedious part because there is so many other utilities in the ground these days. So locates are a big thing too. So you're going to see flags in your yard. You're going to see flags in the easements around your neighborhood. We would ask that you please leave those and we'll pull them when the project's done. We know in the easement of where we can and can't be. So we do very little private easement.
So if I have a yard and I've worked a long time to get my yard looking nice and I've got the flowers out front that I'm really proud of, does this directional drill affect any of that?
Very little. So that's the benefit of it, is that what that drill does is it's able to shoot underground, and they can steer it up to a small spot at the house, and they're able to then tie the duct on at the house and pull it back to the handhold. It's construction, so things happen, but for the most part, I feel like we do a great job, and if there is a problem, we fix it.
I know that I've seen you with a rake in the back of your truck even before. Can you talk to us just a little bit about, okay, so we've got the line buried, do we just walk away, or what does the post installation look like?
Sure. So our contractors who we have hired do a great job, but there is times where something didn't quite get the way that we had planned it. So we do go back, whether it's us or the contractor who comes back and fixes it, we do assure that it gets fixed.
So it seems to me like it would be a lot faster and maybe less expensive if you just put that main line in the air somewhere. Why are we burying that instead of putting that up on a pole?
Yeah, so we do have some aerial. We, as a company as a whole, have stayed away from it for the most part. There is benefits, like you were saying, but there's also a lot of benefits to having it in the ground as far as disruption from weather or who knows what, a tree branch falling. There's lots of different things that can happen to it when it is above ground.
Okay, so I'm a homeowner. I've heard that WTC is coming. I've got pre-signed up. You guys have used the directional bore. You got it to my house. So I've got internet working like the next day, right? Is that it?
Unfortunately not. We would love that too. But so yeah, there is some splicing involved with fiber.
What does splicing mean?
Yeah, so the splicing process would be like welding two pieces of glass together. It's pretty impressive. Once that process is done in the field splicing, then there will be some work at the house. There'll be one splice that needs to be made at the house. And then we'll do that walkthrough that I had mentioned before, that we meet with you. You show us a little bit about your house so we know the best way to get from point A to point B when we're there. And then we place our equipment and make sure that the customer's comfortable on how everything works and where everything's at to the best of our ability. And that's why I do think that walkthrough process is so important. I think it sets us apart, to be quite honest.
Yeah. So, Shawn, if I get fiber to my house, what kind of equipment besides that fiber line does WTC need to put in a house for their service to work?
We have tried over the years not to have like a two-box solution. So we have a ONT or a fiber point that the fiber actually plugs into. There will be a little battery backup that will keep, if the power blinks or goes out, it does keep your ONT up or your fiber point up. So if that happens, it doesn't have to completely reboot. It does also, if you had a landline service and the power's out, it gives you the ability to still call out on your landline service.
You know, a lot of houses around here, they've already been wired for telephone service. They've got, I think, Cat5 for internet connections. So if I switch to WTC, do I have to have somebody replace all those wires, or what happens there?
There's a lot of different wiring out there, and that is what that walkthrough does as well. Our guys kind of have a chance to take a look and say, this situation is going to have us do this situation is going to have us do that.
Shawn, thanks so much for giving us your time today. It's always great to hear about how these things work. You know, we hear about getting fiber to a person's house, but it's hard to know what that actually means. So hearing from you what that process looks like, I think, is really informative. So thank you for your time today. This has been a great Fiberside chat with WTC, and I can't wait to see what the next one's going to be.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and hopefully we got some information out to customers or future customers on how WTC can help them.
Yeah, it's been great. I've learned a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.